Hello YouTube people, in today's video I will show you this rectangular watch and also this one which is exactly the same except it's different color, and also this one and this one, and also this one which is exactly the same except this one is bigger, and this one which is basically the same except it is a little bit different shape. But first I wanna say thank you to AliExpress for sponsoring my small YouTube channel. They gave me a budget which I was free to spend on any watches that I wanted, so that's what I did. So AliExpress, thank you for that very much. This is the table of specifications. I'm not gonna go too much into details because that's a little bit boring, but I will post a picture like this on my Facebook post and Reddit post so you can look for yourself this chart, you know, according the names of these watches. The weight in grams, lug to lug distance, width, thickness, lug width, and the price. So quickly just going through the price. Sanda 12 euros, this one golden, the most expensive, 32 euros. Sanda again, just bigger one, 12 euros again. Rebirth just 5 euros. Ogeda, I don't really know how to pronounce the brand name of this watch, Ogeda or Ogeda, let's call it Ogeda, okay? So Ogeda, just 7 euros. Everything else is fairly similar, they all small lightweight watches. And if you wanna get more into these details, go to my Reddit post and you will see a picture like this. Now let's do an overview. Let's begin with this small Sanda watch. The difference between these two Sanda watches is the size, and for me, to be honest, this small Sanda watch, even on my small wrist, does look a little bit too small. It's nice watch, but it's very small. So I would say it's a great watch for kids, or maybe for a woman, I don't know, or maybe if you're really into vintage style, yeah, it's a nice looking thing. But for me, I would choose the bigger one, the bigger Sanda watch. Interesting thing about these Sanda watches is that the bigger one thickness is 7 millimeters, while the smaller one thickness is 7.3 millimeters for whatever reason. Anyway, here's how the big one looks like on my wrist. Big one, nice. This is nice looking watch. Blued hands, you know this model very well, so I'm not gonna get too much into details. Only thing I wanna mention really is that out of the bunch, you know, a bunch of cheap watches, so surprisingly only this watch has one quality control problem. Let me show you. First of all, the crown feels surprisingly stiff somehow, but also if I check the alignment, look, I can't even, the crown on this watch is a little bit annoying. All other watches, fine, I found no dust, no quality control problems, nothing, except this one. The crown feels a little bit off, and alignment also checked on all watches, and only this one is slightly misaligned. Our hand is a little bit advanced, but not too much really, nothing too crazy. Surprisingly, on neither of these watches I haven't found any dust particles under the glass, no imperfections, no scratches, no fingerprints. For this kind of price point, to be honest, is a little bit surprising, because I remember back in the day I did a series of videos where I bought a bunch of very cheap watches from AliExpress, and it was like normal thing, you know, at this price point finding dust particles and all kinds of scratches on the dial was kind of normal. So I was a little bit gambling buying these watches this time, but surprisingly they all fine except this one is just a little bit off. The strap on these Sanda watches feels great, it's flexible, it's a little bit like a paper, but it's a good kind of paper, it doesn't feel bad, you know, it feels comfortable. And thank you Steve from Escape Wheel Watch Shoes channel showing me how to resize the strap on this watch. You know, you get Sanda watches like this, basically, okay? So what you have to do is pass the strap through upper portion of the clasp like that, and through the bottom portion of the clasp you pass it back, folding like that. It's very slim, very flexible strap, so there is no problem. And like that you adjust to your size. And this clasp, how to use this clasp, yeah, at first it was a little bit tricky, because if you try to close this watch pressing on the clasp itself, it ain't gonna work really well. You have to press right there, because this part of the clasp actually is tilting. You know, it has a little hook and it is tilting, so if you press on it, it ain't gonna lock on place, in the place. And to unhook it, you just push right there. So very simple. Just closing it, you have to press in this place, because if I would be pressing this place, it just doesn't go. So just one simple thing. And generally speaking, it's very comfortable watch even on its original strap. Now this Rebirth watch initially looks fairly similar to this Sanda watch, right? Looking straight down like this. Not much difference, but the real difference is on the dial. First of all, the dial. And this one has texture on the dial. Let me show you like that. It's interesting. It has some, you know, refinement. You could say it doesn't look cheap. You know, this watch was €5, but it doesn't look bad. It doesn't look bad. So in comparison to Sanda, Sanda has just plain simple white dial, while the Rebirth has this interesting pattern on the dial. It doesn't look bad. Another difference is that a Rebirth watch has this, you know, moon shape, a little bit curvature, which honestly I don't really like. Sanda, it's like a small lovely watch. I really like it, but Rebirth, for some reason, it just doesn't feel lovely. It feels like I don't know. It's a nice watch. It's okay, especially for €5, you know. But it's a bit thicker, you know. On such a small watch, I'm not sure if thickness really works very well, but you know, it has its character, you can say that. Now the strap on this Rebirth watch is actually the worst of the bunch, because it feels like cheap kind of plastic paper strap. This is really bad. This one is really bad. It feels one of those, you know, if you bend in half like that, it feels like it's gonna snap in half. So the strap on this watch is no good, but later on I'll show you how this watch looks on custom straps, and it's actually quite a lot of fun. Now these two Ogeda watches, I didn't know about them. I was just scrolling through AliExpress and I accidentally found them, and I think they are very, very beautiful. I'm very, very positive about these ones. So in comparison, why I'm showing comparison to Sanda, mostly because I know this is a very popular watch, Sanda. A lot of you who are watching this video probably already had Sanda watch like this, so let me show you just a comparison. They're very similar in size and styling and everything, you know. Even the crowns also have this blue little thing, trying to copy the Cartier, you know, trying their best, you know. So thickness and everything, yeah, they're very similar, very, very similar. Except, you know, I really like these colors. These Ogeda also are available in white, but also keep in mind one thing: Ogeda costs half the price, well, roughly half the price of Sanda watch. But speaking about these Ogeda watches, they were just €7 each. €7, you know. And what's surprising about them is that the strap, well, it feels a little bit like paper, but it's good kind of paper. This blue watch, I have worn it full week right now, and it is holding up just fine, but it still has this kind of feeling that I could tear it apart with just my nail, you know. But it's slim, it's flexible, it's a nice strap, you know, generally speaking. Don't forget the price of this watch, you know, €7. For €7, these watches are just incredible. Let me put it on my wrist. So also I'm very surprised that I have found no quality control problems whatsoever, and they don't have that annoying ticking sound. They're very silent. So I have worn this blue watch for a full week right now, and it hasn't annoyed me in any way, and it's very comfortable, it's very beautiful. €7, and no dust particles, no imperfections, nothing. And these are not like specifically meant for our review watches. These are just random watches off the shelf, and they are just perfect. Absolutely perfect, nothing to complain about, and they look just so good, so good. Absolutely love them. I'm so happy about these watches. I mean, cheap price is part of the happiness for me. It really makes me happy that you can buy something like this for so cheap. It's just wow. I'm happy like a child, you know. So this color, It's rather fancy, you know. I wouldn't probably wear this watch like on every day unless I would be working in an office with some kind of a pink shirt or tie. Then that watch would look really good. And I'll show you later. This watch looks incredible on custom straps. Such an awesome watch. The proportions, the slimliness, even the strap feels great. Man, €7. This is like no-brainer. I really like those Ogeda watches. Now this Ogeda, let me put it on my wrist. This one visually feels very different from the salmon dial. You know, salmon dial is like a little bit fancy, very dressy, obviously. This one, these bold white indices on the blue dial, they contrast so much. It gives off a little bit of a sporty vibe, which tones this watch down into being a little bit more casual every day. And that's what I did. I have worn this watch full week right now. No matter what I dress, I put this watch on, and you know what? Surprisingly, this watch doesn't look out of place somehow. It just looks like nice everyday watch. It's very nice, by the way. Also, no imperfections. Alignment is perfect. It's just a beautiful thing, man. This is very beautiful thing. I worn this watch full week on my wrist, and I'm still in this kind of a honeymoon period, I could say. I really like it. I really like it, and I think the pattern on the strap looks really good, and this strap on other watches also looks great. So this is also quite an interesting option. You buy this watch, but you can also use that strap on other watches. Like for example, I can swap straps with these watches. So basically €14 and you get two beautiful watches and two, well, somewhat reasonable straps. I'm not saying that they are good quality, but for the price they feel really good. You know, at least they are very comfortable. I don't know how long they're gonna be holding up before falling apart, but you know, they feel fine. Full week on the wrist, this blue strap, no complaints. It's comfortable strap, and I really like the idea that I can just swap them over, and you know, the watch looks fresh in my eyes once again. Like this kind of thing. Also, you know, blue hands on a blue strap. It's nice, you know. It's nice that I can swap straps between these two watches, and it looks just so cool. Yeah, I mean, come on, man. €7 for this watch is just insane. Absolutely must buy. Buy two of them. This one is the most expensive one. It was €32, but I still wanted to include it in the comparison, even though it doesn't have name on the dial, which is a little bit annoying. I wish it would have any name on the dial. I don't know, I somehow don't like watches without name on the dial. Not my thing. But anyway, this watch is still very classy, very vintage inspired, you could say, or vintage copied, I probably should say. Speaking about the size of this watch, it's a little bit like that small Sanda watch. It's right on the edge where it feels almost too small for my wrist, and I can justify this extra small size because of its golden color. For a golden watch, in my opinion, extra small size looks fine. It looks, you know, it looks classy, it looks elegant. Extra small size for a golden watch in my eyes. So it's alright, it gets my pass. I actually worn this watch for a full day, and the only complaint was that the strap on this watch is a little bit stiff. It's not as bad as on a Rebirth watch. I tried massaging it out as much as I can, and I worn in this strap full day. It's getting there, it's better, it's kind of alright, but generally speaking, the quality of the strap is not great. It's like, look, I bend it like that and it stays like that. It's not really that good, but at least it looks really good. It's very beautiful, and you know, after all, it's a small lightweight watch, so I honestly I don't really feel it on my wrist. So it's alright, you know. I bet my mom is gonna love this watch. After I make this video, I'm gonna give this watch away to my mom. She likes small watches, so it's alright. So let me show you how it looks like. By the way, this is the only one that's listed as a stainless steel watch, but I don't know about that. I will check that later on with a magnet at the end of the video probably, or maybe, you know, let's not wait. Let's just test it out right now while I'm waiting. It's a quartz watch after all, you know, so don't worry, I'm gonna die. So let's see, is this watch stainless steel? Well, probably. Look. Well, hold on a second. Let me try with, for example, this Rebirth watch. Nah, nah, I believe it just catches onto onto the movement inside. No, the pulling rate, I would say it's the same. Yeah, it's the same on all of them. This big Sanda watch. Yeah, it's the same. I call it. No, it's not stainless steel. Come on, man. It would, if it was stainless steel, it would stick really good. It would stick really good. But right now, I don't see that happening. Look, this old K is stainless steel, and it sticks so good that it makes the sound. You know, it's like this. It's wow. This like it flies towards the magnet. Look. It flies towards the magnet. So if this watch was stainless steel, it would also fly towards the magnet. No. According to my little research and testing, I would say this is not stainless steel. Let's try some custom straps. Before I begin, these two are 18mm lug width and these ones are 20mm lug width. Little Sanda on a grey leather strap looks like this. Rather lovely. And on a bright brown suede leather strap looks really lovely in my opinion. On a green fabric strap gives off a little bit of a vintage vibe, I would say. Very interesting strap this one is. Little golden watch on a grey leather strap looks like so. I think it looks very feminine on this one. Rather nice. I kinda like it actually. And on this green one it looks like some kind of a vintage fancy watch. Gives off an old money kind of a vibe. Yeah, looks rather cool, I would say. Big Sanda watch on this chainmail strap I think looks wonderful. Looks really special. Big Sanda on two-piece nylon strap. This strap feels wonderful, it's cheap, and I think it looks nice on this watch. I think it looks nice. Brown suede leather strap. Yes, looks good on this one as well. Gives off a little bit of a vintage vibe. Rebirth on a chainmail. I mean, what you're looking at is a €5 watch. Could anyone tell that this is a €5 watch on basically €7 bracelet? Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. I think this Rebirth looks really good on this bracelet. It does look pretty good. Rebirth on this desaturated leather strap. It gives off a little bit of a cool vibe. I kinda think it fits the character of this watch. This is a little bit crazy leather strap with this bold stitching, but somehow I think it looks fine on this watch. What do you guys think? Salmon Ogeda on this chainmail bracelet I think looks great. Yeah, it does look rather fancy, I must say. These bold stitchings on this leather strap give off a very strong vintage vibe, and I think it fits this watch very nicely. Not bad at all. How about just a simple black leather strap? This one is called Crazy Horse leather strap. It feels great, very good quality. I think it looks great. It tones this watch down a little bit, you know. It looks a little bit more classy on just a simple black leather strap. I really like it though. And finally my favorite one, the blue Ogeda. I think this watch looks wonderful. Overall this watch is wonderful actually. €7 man for this watch. And looks this good. This is insane. Oh yeah, just look at this thing. Amazing. On a black Crazy Horse leather strap. I think it looks kind of expensive, I would even say. I mean, could you tell that this watch is €7 right now? I mean, you couldn't previously either on the blue original strap, but I mean, yeah, I'm very impressed. This one is wonderful. It's just wonderful, man. How about breaking some rules just for fun and putting this classy watch on just a sporty elastic strap. I don't know, if you wouldn't look at the buckle, right, like so, I really like this white line, and the blue color matches really well. It looks rather nice, I must say. It looks rather nice. It's just, you know, this whole buckle thing is bigger than the watch itself. But a combination of this white white stripe in the middle. Yeah, it looks rather interesting. Just one more thing about Sanda straps. You know, if you work in an office and you want a nice watch and you sit by the keyboard all day long, you're gonna find one thing pretty annoying, is that the buckle is right in the place where you put the wrist on the table next to the keyboard. So you'll be scratching the table, and it's just, you know, this grindy thing just doesn't feel nice. So the location of this clasp might gonna annoy you a little bit. So what can I tell you for the ending of this video? Well, I'm honestly impressed. Considering the price point, I'm really surprised that I haven't found any technical flaws. Hands are well aligned and everything, and no dust particles under the glass. The only watch that is a little bit misbehaving is this big Sanda watch. The crown action is a little bit stiff, and the hands are slightly misaligned, but other than that, I'm seriously impressed what you get for the money, especially with these Ogeda watches. I strongly recommend these. 7 euros. It's a crime. How can they be this cheap? Is insane, especially with the strap that feels nice. They look so wonderful. Even this Rebirth watch, which was 5 euro, 5 euros, man. It doesn't look bad, this thing. You know, sorry for scratches. I already scratched it up a little bit, but I mean, just look at the dial and everything. I mean, 5 euros for this watch, and it has no technical flaws, no nothing. It's just a, you know, nice watch, generally speaking. The only watch which I could probably talk away a little bit about is that this golden watch was 32 euros, and I don't know, I'm not sure if it is really worth the price of 32 euros when you can get something like this for 7 euros. Anyway, I'm generally really happy how it turned out. It was a little bit of a gamble buying a cheap watches, but finding out that they're actually good quality, I'm really happy, especially with this one, man. This is my watch. That's it. This is my watch. It's gonna stay on my wrist. Everything else I'm giving away to my mom. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. Goodbye.